very special evening, as all of you know, and that's why you're here in such numbers. I'm sorry some of you have to stand. Maybe we can have some extra chairs down there. Waheeda ji, thank you for coming here. Nasreen, thank you for making this evening possible. I must tell you, Nasreen, if you don't mind, when a friend of mine saw this book, she said, hey, this is only interview. Where's the biography? I don't want to read it. And I don't know if that is the reaction of other people, but I started reading it, and I have a confession to make. I do these book events, I talk to authors. I don't always read the book. Terrible thing to say, but this book I couldn't put down. I couldn't put this book down. And what Nasreen has done is talk to Waheeda ji, and it's like one long interview. It can't be one long interview. And Nasreen, I want to ask you to start off with this whole process of doing this. How it started, how long it took.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming here today. It's always exciting to know when people come for a book, more than a film and more than entertaining things, and because books are getting more and more rare in many ways, so it's wonderful to see all of you here. When Anil asked me about why this format, now if you take a Q&A, people immediately think it's an interview. And why can an interview, or is it possible for an interview to be a book? In my view, absolutely. And the reason for that is that if you keep the interview discussing the here and now, it is much more an interview for a newspaper. But if you look at someone's life and you look at an overview of someone's life, you can, over time, get to know them. So I would really call these biographical conversations. We actually talked for 20 or 25 sessions, 2 hours each, over 1 year. And we covered a lot of ground, films, life, her family, her upbringing, and so therefore you can go deeper. I also think we all live in a time which is very, very rushed. Everybody has very little time, and I think just as much as for Waheeda ji has less time, and so do the readers have less time. So actually this kind of format allows you to dip in and out, come into the story and get a lot of information. I also would say, very frankly, that if we look back at the history of Indian cinema, you will find very few in-depth interviews of the great people of Indian film, of Hindi cinema. If you look for an interview with either Sahir, or even if you look for an interview with someone like Mehboob Saab or K. Asif, you will not find anything. And it's not like they died 2 centuries ago. You know, we're talking about recent history. So the idea really is to preserve the memory of someone, and there is nothing like having primary resource to keep her voice, rather than her telling me everything and then I put it in my words.
Waheeda ji, when Nasreen approached you, what was your reaction very first time?
First time I frankly say no, I don't like it. I don't, but I must give credit to her patience for last.
Why did you say no?
I don't like the idea of biography. Why should anybody else should know my private life? How and they will be interested in my life, my personal life. And in biography, I feel somewhere or the other, you do hurt people, you see. Like for instance, you hurt me, I feel I justify, but you say no, Waheeda, you hurt me. So I didn't want to hurt anybody. So I said in one condition, make it into an interview and say so did this to me, so did that to me. So they are justified and I am justified. So I said I don't like the idea. Already they know so much about movie stars. Every day they write something or the other about us, though it is true or not true. but people keep reading about it.